I just wanted to mention this. This lady, Nan Winton, she was the first female newsreader for BBC television. She died yesterday. She was appointed in June 1960 to read evening and weekend bulletins, and it's quite an extraordinary story, actually. When she took on the role of newsreader, BBC bosses called the decision to hire her an experiment. They thought at the time she was serious enough to overcome prejudiced voices in the media that said women were too frivolous to relate important news. And she was removed from the role after she'd read only 7 late-night bulletins because audience research found viewers thought a woman reading the late news was not acceptable. So things have changed. She remained the only woman to have read the BBC's national television news until 1975. When?
That's crazy.
Who was
Angela
it?
Rippon.
Angela Rippon joined the 9 o'clock news team.
I remember she went.
Angela Rippon will be on our programme later.
She went with Morecambe and Wise, didn't she, Angela Rippon, as well?
Oh,
totally.
yeah. Classic scene.
Yeah. So she lasted 7 bulletins.
7 bulletins. Yep. And she did talk about it. She said there was
so long until
she said, and I love this quote from her. There were times when I was doing the announcing when I wanted to shout aloud, like Shylock, "Have not woman eyes, ears, and senses?"
Oh.
Wow.
She
said it.
Shout it. But anyway, that's what she was thinking.
Well, things have changed, I think.
Yeah, they've
You've lasted
changed.
a little bit longer than 7 bulletins, haven't you?
Just slightly. Years and years. Should we talk about Nan Winton? There you go. She was the first...
This is a fascinating story.
Yeah, first female newsreader for BBC television. She died at the age of 93. She was appointed in June 1960 to read evening and weekend bulletins. Some discussion over her appointment. They considered that she was serious enough, as they put it, to overcome prejudiced voices in the media that said women at that time were too frivolous to relate important news. And the thing is, she was given this role, which was sort of groundbreaking. And then after she'd read only 7 late bulletins, audience research found that viewers thought a woman reading the late news was not acceptable. And then it wasn't until 1975, so that was in 1960, so 15 years later, Angela Rippon became the second woman to be able to read the late-night news. She joined the 9 o'clock news team in 1975. And actually, rather wonderfully, Angela Rippon, of course, is on our programme a little bit later because she does a programme after our programme.
She does. Rip Off Britain.
Yeah, live. So, it's nice.
I wonder if we could ask her about it.
It might be actually, do you know what? I really would. So we might warn her that But good morning, if you're watching. Angela, we'd love to ask you a little bit about that later.
Yeah, it's... what year was that, did you say?
1975, Angela Rippon started.
But, yeah, it's amazing how attitudes have
quite right.
changed a little
quite
bit.
rightly.
Yeah.